He's swaying.
Welcome back, everyone.
You bet the blood wine, haven't you?
No, I'd be more like.
I mean, we're probably used to it. Oh goodness. I mean, maybe it's like vodka. The better it is, the less it affects you. You know, deliriously. It's maybe a really good one. It's like, oh, it's so clean and
Yeah. A barrel of blood wine. Have a good year.
And we'll get straight to sharing. So the audience.
All right. Well, there you go. He's going to share. I'm going to tell you guys to hit like if you're just joining us, which is you should be because we just started. But 11 people here, 8 likes. Let's get those likes up. We can do it. Also, don't forget to make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell icon so you don't miss any edited or live content that we do. And thank you for joining us for a Lower Decks review. Lower Decks is great. There we go. And yeah, so do the things. Like is a big thing, and we really appreciate it. Also, check the join option down there. There's a join option to join the channel on YouTube, or head on over to Patreon/Trekyards as another way that you can join the channel. I just moved my desk, and I didn't mean to. Dot, be nice to Lola. Move. Come on. Move. Dogs are fighting. Anyway, you can also click the links down below. There are links to the Teespring and the TeePublic store. And we got some cool Trekyards merch. So check that stuff out. Support us in any way you can. We really appreciate it. Just share the word. Anybody that you know loves Lower Decks who might like to see reviews on it, send them our way. Or send us their way. One or the other. But yeah, welcome, guys. And today we got a very Klingon episode. Very honorable. So glory to you and your house. That joke will be made more than once, probably. And Kapla, welcome. Oh, Chuck is here. Hey, Chuck. Olivia throws in $5. Oh, may you be on the great dinner guest list in the sky.
That's what great koala eats. Apart from the souls of the innocent.
Great bamboo shoots. No, they eat eucalyptus leaves. There's pandas that eat bamboo shoots. Yeah, panda bears. The koalas eat eucalyptus leaves. There you go.
I was too sane for my question.
Eucalyptus nebula.
Oh, yes.
I don't know.
Oh, I like that. I like it. I like it. Yes, welcome, everybody. And, guys, do check out my next fan film count tomorrow. Stuart, you've seen it. Do you have any non-spoiler words to say about it?
It's crap. No, it's really good. Probably one of his best ones. It's the longer one, and it's very well acted, very well written, and yeah, you'll enjoy it. If you like DS9, even if you don't like DS9, it's really good. So,
did it feel like its length? It's I think my second longest short.
No, I put it on and I saw 27 minutes. What the hell? Fine, and I watched it, and it's like, yeah, it didn't feel that long, so that's good.
There's a mid episode thing that happens that kind of resets the time. It feels like it is. Yeah. Anyway, check it out. Enjoy it. And it's a fun Reality Burns. My favorite titles. So excited for that. I'm gonna do a poll.
He's gonna do his poll. Ray Ricks super chats in £5. Sorry, super chat for the Amuse Bouche. There you go. I mean, we need more than that to actually buy one for each me and Sam and I, so keep it up. Ozzy, $5. What to Ambassador Worf from Deep Space Nine with prune juice, a warrior drink? Indeed, prune juice. It makes you honorable and regular. This is the Klingon way. That would have been cool if somebody at the bar ordered prune juice because it kind of caught on Kronos.
I'm sure we mentioned this a few times, but imagine if Michael Dorn was in that bar as Worf on a mission. He orders a prune juice, and it pans over, and Mana's like, "Worf, do you want to see me? I'm not here. I'm undercover." And then Bond doesn't even notice, and it's like, wow, it's a Worf cameo because he's undercover doing a mission. Huh. That would be an epic little random cameo. That doesn't mean anything, but it's like, oh, cool. I like that.
Yeah. Olivia throws in $2. Sam, is the USS Julius in that one?
No. She's in the bigger ones. I mean, I mean, a DS9 short is slightly. It's a really defiant short.
Yes.
It's a DS9 era one. We do see DS9, but we were only at DS9 like hyper briefly. Even the interview's not actually at DS9; it's actually on the Defiant. I wonder why.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I wonder why I picked that because I have. Well, I guess I didn't have the Defiant. Anyway, there are DS9 shorts. This is a really Defiant short, which is cool because when do you ever see Defiant as a hero? It's awesome.
Never, ever, ever in the history of the world.
That's not true.
Okay, well, there you go. Don't listen to me. I'm full of shit.
That's not true either. You're medium full of shit, not just fully full of shit.
No,
some days anyway. Some days you're entirely clean. All right.
Gross. Mark Lawrence, $10.
Ah!
Those 27 minutes went by quickly. Lower decks. Lower decks. Lower decks. Yes, Mark.
Yes, Mark enjoyed it. I'm very, very pleased about because they all make it happen. So, and there's a poll as well, Stuart. I'm very interested to see what you guys think.
I don't care.
Okay.
Oh,
then.
what did you think of this episode? Loved it. Yes. Liked it. Was good. It was okay. 5 out of 10. Medium at best. And nah. Fuck it. I mean, didn't like it. The language that you put in your polls, I had to change that because...
Can you swear in those? I've never tried.
Why would you want to? Swearing is not good. Don't do that thing.
So, Stuart, what do you think of Lower Deck Season 5, Episode 4, with only 6 to go, 7 to go, near the middle of the end, etc.? What do you think of this episode of Lower Decks?
A farewell to farms.
And what do you think after watching it a second time? That's always the question I want to know most.
All right. As you guys know, if you've been with us for any amount of time, I'm not super big on the heavy, like the Klingon culture heavy ones. I did enjoy this one though. I like the idea of seeing a Klingon farm, seeing how blood wine's made, all of that. It was kind of cool. Seeing it the second time, I appreciated it even more. Actually, it's a good, fun episode. The only complaint I really had was that Tendi and Rutherford were very unused to their capacity anyway. Mariner had some great stuff. Boimler had some great stuff, and that was awesome. And I know it was focusing on the Klingon stuff, but the Miglamo stuff was quite interesting too, about his culture and his planet, their nest world, as they called it. And I just wish that Rutherford and Tendi would have been used in a better capacity. Yes, we got her cutting food and, assassin skill training. Did a very good job with that. That's fine. But other than that, they were underused, in my opinion. The Miglamo story wasn't the best for me. I'm glad it didn't focus on that. The Klingon stuff was pretty great. It's great to see kind of like the another branch of their organizational setup, the oversight committee or whatever it was. And the Kronos scenes are great. The buildings, the architecture, all that was fantastic. Seeing the farm reminded very much of the Mandalorian, Quill's farm, and I think that was deliberate. I don't know why. Somebody was inspired by that, I guess. Wanted to show their love for it, and that's cool. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a fun ride, and again, though, in the final season, this being one, I wish it would have tied in more to the interdimensional fissures. Yes, we found out that they were being artificially created. Somebody was making them as opposed to being naturally occurring, which is neat, but it was very underscored. And watching it again, yes, he became a captain. She needed a captain to go scan this thing. They're like, let's go scan this thing. You'll need a ship. I have an idea about that. And then we never see a ship. I would have loved to have seen a Klingon ship, something aboard the ship, both them scanning it. And, references to Kalas as well. A few references, which was neat. So I really enjoyed it, honestly. And thought it was a fun ride. And that's my thoughts. How about you?
Although, did you really enjoy it compared to last week, which is the bar you're now setting it to, versus the show in general?
For the show in general, as I said last night in my first reaction, it's an upper middle tier for me. So it'll be interesting to see where the scoring falls. It's good for all of Lower Decks. It's still a good episode of all Lower Decks, and yeah.
But you know what I mean? Are you feeling more positive because last week was so relatively weak?
Yeah, last week's wasn't the biggest win for me, so yeah, this is definitely better. I wasn't judging it based solely on that, but it is refreshing to get a better episode.
That's what I mean.
But yeah, like I said, for all of Lower Decks, I've kind of thought about that, and I think it's still upper middle tier. Like it's right there. It's good around that. Okay, I'm not going to score yet, but yeah, that's kind of where I sit with it. So
yeah, and guys,
what about you?
And throwing you straight through the super chats next, but super chat in or just put in your thoughts of the episode. I'd love to hear just an initial burst of stuff as we finish my half. But yeah, the super chats straight, then I'll jump in.
Olivia, $5. The food reviewers must have went to the UK. No flavor in the food. What? You don't have salt? It's covered in it.
And you're as unable to taste like them to think that.
Ray Ricks, £5. This episode frustrated the Kronos stuff was great, but honestly, the Meglamo subplot wasted good Klingon time. Yeah, that's kind of my thought as well. Although it's great to learn more about Meglamo. He's an interesting character. Didn't learn a lot about their culture necessarily, but yeah. Also, no T'Lyn. Yeah, that was another one of my gripes. Because there was quite a few episodes last season that she wasn't in either, and I'm like, why is she just absent? But yes. Ozzy, though, $2. Time to walk through the power pain sticks. Yes.
Maybe I should make a short West Stuart has to be pain sticks just for the lols.
Yeah, I could do that. See, I can do the pain sticks. Anyway, what did you think?
Hello. Yes. Okay. So as
second time viewing.
Yeah. Thank you.
After a review. And it'll be fun to ask you after this live, after we talked about it. Go ahead.
Okay.
I won't cut you off again.
I knew that's coming. I knew it. Okay, so definitely better second watch. Definitely better second watch. But as we've said often, because we know it's not going anywhere big, so we can enjoy the small. Because my biggest takeaway was it's good, not amazing, and a few missed opportunities throughout. Not the least being, but certainly a second time viewing. What I love the beginning. I think the beginning is excellent. The ending is fine, but had they actually, as you alluded to, and I said in our other review, when he gets this great moment of need a captain, if it's a hard cut to a brand new Klingon Vorcha variant, like a new design, he walks on in the new armor, and Martok's there, or someone famous, or Worf, or somebody legacy to kind of give a bit of oomph to the scene, even someone small, like just somebody to kind of give an extra oomph, whatever, and he's walking on, and Mariner's there like, whoa, I love the new threads, whatever his name is, Mark, and he's like, oh, yes, go here, and they warp in this epic scene with really cool, and it goes in this humble farm, this really epic thing, just gives really nice spectacle at the end, and maybe even pull, because with episode 4, right, we should feel more about the multi-universe subplot, but it's so subtle that there's no build, it's just there. So had they started this week with, they warp out, I guess change the plot now, but had they warped out at the end and like, a thing happened, maybe another ship came through and that's our cliffhanger of episode 5, mid-season, cool. That would have made it much better, right? It's fine, it's good, but it could have been way better as a story. But that's just, they didn't want to go there, I guess. They wanted a nice, simple story. Weird for a 5th season to kind of throw a medium ball. You know, you'd think they'd want to make every episode really special, and this is not really special. It's good, but it's not really special. It's odd that they're, you know, not pushing so much. That said, I love the intro. I think it's excellent. The music's glorious. The slow build. I kind of thought the whole episode was going to be fully Klingon-centric, with maybe Mariner just on a phone, and that was kind of hoping for, with more intensity, more culture. As soon as the Federation guys get in, it kind of dilutes it a little bit, because we get their perspective coming in a tad. And the fact that, as I said to you in our review, who the hell are these council members? Because they flat out kill the guy, and it's his fleet, but he's obviously not the head of the KDF, Clear Defense Force. He's not some super important guy, otherwise there'd be some level of, oh no, didn't mean to get him killed. There's zero emotion behind that, so he's just some guy, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is the local house, and he's the general, you know, he's the local guy that organizes things, but he's super low in the ranking, as is this character. Otherwise the ending falls apart horribly, because you'd have some level of, well, we just killed the. If this is actually like the head of the KDF defense force guy that determines who goes where, that's a huge deal, and they play off like it's absolutely nothing. So there's some real like tonal problems at the end of like, well, how big is this meant to be? Because like even the trials are really small if it's some mega important guy. So the scale is kind of hard to work out, which kind of changes how I feel. I'd love it if it's just some literally like, it's like the Scouts, right? Some local branch, some local thing. It's really small, and he's like the most important thing ever. So small thing there, but the end kind of falls apart a little bit in that regard. And the title doesn't work because he does choose his farm. Kind of. Well, he doesn't. Although no, I guess he doesn't, because no one's on the farm except his mum. I guess they're saying goodbye to their farm because no one's there to run it anymore, and it's going to go to generations of farm life. They're throwing it away just because he wants to. Yeah, it's weird.
No, he stays with the farm because he's captain of his like shuttle, or his shuttle that they take the blood wine.
The brother's like, I'll stay on the farm. No, you'll come with me, implying it's not the farm, it's something else. Like pushing away from the farm. Maybe he's still doing a bit. But that's literally the it's weird. It's a weird ending.
You're weird.
And I didn't even mention Miglimo once, which kind of tells you how it's nice but not big. It's fun, it's simple. I could have done with 1/3 less screen time. Give a third more to Klingons would have been fine. He's fun, story's fun, but the idea that they didn't get rumbled earlier, or that they like, if you're gonna be the best people at reviewing food, if you have everything bad reviews for 6 months, very quickly gonna get caught out. You have to give varied reviews and not pretend everything is bad. Like, why would you do that every time? Second time, I didn't see the logic of why everything was bad, because it just makes them. It just raises the question, right? Not everything will be bad, especially if there's any other cook who can independently taste it. They'll also be like, well, this is not tasteless. You're wrong. I can tell you're wrong. So those things didn't quite make sense second time. It would be fine if it was the 1 or 2 thing, but they was. Yeah, so there's some slight logical flaws, but there you go. Any thoughts on my thoughts?
No.
Okay.
Let me think. No.
Excellent.
I'm sure we'll get into it.
Yes.
Oh, that's another thing I wanted to point out while you were talking. The Miglimo story, the best part about that for me was Captain Freeman. You know, these guys are arrogant assholes. Just let him have his win, basically. I thought she was good sticking up for Miglimo. Yeah, I like Freeman. So
I like the one-off lines. You call yourself a chef? No, I don't. I call myself a doctor. That's a great line. There's a few really strong lines in this episode. But we start off at the family farm with definitely the smallest scene possible, fighting a Targ with a little crappy little shuttle freighter thing. Lovely architecture. And his brother does not like him, does not respect him, nor should he. He lost everything and their family honour. So it makes sense. But he's a nice enough guy. Bit dumb, but nice. And doesn't like shoes either.
Yeah, and you do see the Klingon spurs on the feet, which the Klingon warrior outfits do have those toe cap things. I mean, we have seen Worf in bare feet, and he has scars there. His have been removed. Yeah. And I find it interesting because if they have that spur on their feet, how do they get their boots on? Because you look at a Klingon boot, you would need like a slit all the way down for that to go through, and then you can seal that up. But they don't have that, and
it's very stretchy.
Yeah, I think some people probably choose to get them removed, other ones don't, because I think there's a TNG episode where they actually use those little spurs on their boots as part of a weapon.
Yeah.
So, which means there was nothing underneath them.
Well, it depends if the writer forgot they were decorative or real.
Yeah. Well, they could be both. I mean, I can see Klingons cutting these off.
Well, it could be like wisdom teeth.
Maybe.
Those have actual purpose, but if you use them, use them. But yeah, what do you think of the intro with the very chill vibes, nice artistry?
Oh, yeah, very Star Wars Mandalorian to me. It was great. The brother wanting to attach the bones of the animal he felled.
Well,
he just hit it with a brush devil is what it's called. He ran over by accident. That's extremely honorable. Attach it to the ship to make it look fierce, which is funny later because it catches on the decorative horns of the building.
I think this intro is very clever, and it's exactly as low-key as it should be, which I love.
Yeah.
And are these Gah worms? Possibly. There are worms in the soil. They're farming, hugely farming. Look, this is the only thing they're doing.
People, you can't see the screen. It's just black.
Ah. But yeah, great visual. Really pretty, really simple. Like a beautiful music. I really like the vibe. And yeah, the fact you get to see this is awesome. Love the communicator. Yeah, I think the first bit's excellent.
Yeah. Good music, nice setup. And then, yeah, seeing I thought they were goth at first.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Like, first watch through, second watch through, I realized, oh, he's actually dumping the worms into the vat, which he then goes in and steps on like they're grapes. And then you see the wine coming out. It's like the process, right? Which is interesting.
So as you pointed out, we eat grapes as rather a pleasant thing, and wine. So this will be Garth eating both raw and wine. So absolutely fine. Yeah, great visuals, refusing calls. I like it second time more, knowing there's a really strong reason for this constant calling. Oh, it's quite random. So I like that. But yeah, they're going to go deliver to a famous brand, famous chain restaurant kind of thing. And they're playing a video game. Although could have done with being like fighting some Romulan ships, some TOS Romulans.
Yeah, I wish they were like Connies or something.
Well, yeah, all Connies, all TMP refit. We ready? Boy,
yeah,
even like Enterprise B's, and we're going to go really obscure. But there is technically a bird of prey in this, which I love.
And the brother's always got a bag around his waist with Gach in it, live Gach that's moving around. He's always like chewing on it, almost like chewing tobacco kind of thing.
I mean, hey, if it is Gach they're growing, I mean, if you're a caviar farmer,
yeah, Anyway, so yeah, they arrive and the guy's like, "Oh, look, we haven't had any good blood wine. There's nothing here for these people to drink, so there's nobody drunk here and getting in fights."
Well, no one's drunk enough to fight.
Yes, yeah. They're too sober to brawl.
Yeah. And I love the band. Little attention to detail. It's fun. It's silly. Again, this might, as you said earlier, this might just cosplayer's dream now. A whole new thing that you'd be laughed out for doing it without being canon. Hey, now it's canon.
Or a Klingon farmer, just wear the hat and the...
Yes, actually. Oh, true. Yeah, like 6 hours, 12 seconds. Yeah. Well, I love his belt still, the Klingon belt.
I was going to mention that.
Belt and suspenders, which sort of was a bit redundant, but that's okay.
And he meets the lady, and she's like, "Hey, I thought you're a captain. That's sexy." And he's like, "No, I lost my captaincy."
I also want to point out her boob window is a proper dress boob window. This is like going out on the night boob window. So well done her for the courage to dress informal.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with this scene though, Stuart, and it's kind of a big problem, where's the variety of Klingons? This is a great opportunity to show smooth-headed Klingons, which are not a necessity, but you've got a Klingon bar in random place at random times. It's just average Kronos area. And while there's a fine variety in general, always loved its costume variety. Like, amazing the fact they can keep a dozen, 2 dozen versions of the same style of costume, but being different, beautiful. But they could have easily have cut like these three at the booth. They could have gone as far as one is a smoothhead, one is a Discovery, and one is a JJ. You could have done all three, and it would have been a really funny gag. And like, okay, now fine for no Discovery, but it would have been nice to have some smoothhead somewhere. Awful or TOS armor-ish, some bubble wrap. Like, would have been nice in a scene like this to kind of add some extra oomph when this is actually easier to draw because they're no longer,
Scottish Nightmare says smoothhead Klingons would be long gone by now. Not necessarily. That Kor and Kang and Koloth, they got their ridges back probably through cosmetic surgery. But I mean, some people might not be able to afford that or have the honor of doing it. I don't know. I could see there still being smooth-headed Klingons around.
Yeah, remember 4 planets got infected, if not 4 or 5, 6, whatever. That's billions of Klingons, and they all would continue breeding on their own planet. So those planets now exclusively smoothhead. Then you have probably millions in the KDF and TOS. So you're looking at billions of Klingons, and if they look down upon with other Klingons, you aren't suddenly gonna bring in all the normal Klingons to breed with them to breed that out, and who's going to volunteer for that? So you've still got planets with exclusively smoothhead or some variation. Then it diversifies into the gene pool to have lots of variants of whatever. I mean, there's going to be some contingents around the place who still are, or want to be, or think this is kind of cool. I mean, yeah.
Plus, Klingons live quite a long time. So
yeah, true. Yeah.
Some of those TOS ones might not have got the surgery to get it fixed or whatever. So that's
you're right. Yeah. What about the young 20-something TOS Klingon who is going to be absolutely fine warrior age still, unlike Han Koloth, who are obviously older? You could just not surgery. It's just nice. It's just a nice thing. If you've got 500 trillion Klingons, throw a cosmooth edge in, right?
The Scottish Nightmare says, I got the impression they had the condition cured. It wasn't cosmetic surgery. Yeah, but you can't genetically... Well, I guess you can genetically cause ridges, because
they do it Enterprise.
Archer got some, yeah. I mean, yeah, because you're genetically cured then. But also, there could be a whole thriving, plastic surgery market on Kronos to regain cranial ridges.
Well, I said ridge reconstruction, which can be plastic surgery or genetic.
Yeah.
But also,
mixture of both.
Because remember, if this has been a thing from Enterprise to TOS, that's like 80 years. Clearly was a norm. So some people aren't going to be ashamed of their look. Do you think everybody is going to say, oh, even though my family's been smooth head for 4 generations, it will go back to ridges? Or for the first time, ridges, right? Kids are kids. Yeah. Some people are going to say no thank you, unless it's mandatory, which is like, Jesus, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I you could argue that, but I think it's a bit cynical to say they're all that way.
Yeah. And Ray Ricks, 5 pounds. In my headcanon, Phlox would have created another retrovirus to reverse the augment virus, to reverse it the same way the first virus worked. Sure. TOS. That's fine. Yeah, either genetics or whatever, so.
TOS.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway.
Quiet you.
Yes. And, of course, this is Mary Shifo, who returned to play Klingon Lady. Couldn't tell it's her until the second time when I saw her name in the credits.
I did not realize that.
Which is great to hear her without the process. She's all has listener, and she sounds great. She's being obviously sexy Klingon.
That's why I didn't know it was her.
Yeah, yeah. Although a bit abrupt in second watch, how it goes from a really intense little cool scene to like, hey guys, it's Mariner.
Yeah.
Because they kind of start the character and drop the character, which is kind of odd. But that's okay. And then we meet Miglimo, who is the greatest scholars of planet.
Food critics.
Yes. Excellent.
And we invented warp drive in hopes of discovering strange new meals. To seek out new
tastes.
New cuisines.
And new bowel movements.
And new sauces. Wow.
Which I love the fact that doubles up with the... Because like all good one-liners in his storyline versus the main plot. I love in the next scene, which I'll say now while I remember it. He says... Well, they say, you're meant to be out there exploring soups. He's like, I've had a few, whatever this phrase was. Like, oh, okay, he's tried. Yeah, yeah.
I had a few chowders.
There you go. That's great. I love that.
Ray Ricks, wasn't Mary Shifo the Klingon on the panel?
Nope. No, that was a known person who's come before. And also, she's only like 4 lines. This one has way more lines.
Perfect.
Then straight back to Klingon.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the bar where Martok killed 12 Urpu. No, that was the warrior pit in the lowlands. It's a chain. Still, pretty cool. I love Boimler. He's just so excited. And the mustache, the beard that we're calling it.
Some would. Yeah, lots of little tension. Oh my god, Stuart, they're Andorians. They're throwing knives at Andorians in the background.
Yeah.
That's harsh. I didn't see the background stuff, but yeah, it's so odd. And definitely second term watching Boimler, he's just embracing everything to the point of getting hurt, and he's getting actually hurt in every scene basically, and probably quite a bit. But I mean, Donal Generator, right? But she does say, I thought you had, and she mentioned, recently you're afraid of skiing, and now he's willingly getting into bar thrown around by Klingons where you are going to bruise your skin and if not break some bones. So we talked about this in our review about how he's changed, but it could be some dodgy subterfuge or how far it's been. But even she said he just did the ski thing. So his character's changed like that on the dime. So that I think is unmotivated, and I'm very interested to see if that's a giant hint, because second time watching, knowing how close it is, that's really suspicious, which is interesting.
Yeah, and Mariner's like, ooh, who's this tall drink of water? Wait, you do have water, right? Yes, we have water. This is Malar, my brother. They talk about making the wine the perfect bloodiness, and yeah,
That's cool. Well, I love this. This has no shirt required. This wonderful establishment.
And then we get the Edict of Unreturned Favors. It's a human thing from Earth. Yeah, if I don't return the favor, we get fed to a bear. And I love how Boimler, he must have heard that part, or it actually is something they've talked about before. But yeah, fed to a bear.
This reminds me vaguely, like the Loki scene, where they say, "Do the help in the elevator?" Sorry, in Thor 2, when he throws Loki. So as if they've done this before, and so her go-to thing is fighting a bear.
Yeah,
I got that vaguely because I can't imagine he heard he's concussed already. You know.
Well, as he was walking up, she was saying we get eaten by a bear, so he might have heard the tail end of it. So he's just like, yeah, eaten by a bear.
Tail end.
Bear tail.
Yeah.
What?
But I find it funny because the clone's like, is that a real thing? It's like you are full of shit, Mariner.
So Boimler says, man, it's so awesome in here. A Klingon threw me. And then that's when Mariner says, how are you so comfortable with violence all of a sudden? Weren't you just afraid of skiing? And I came out stronger. It's all in the beard, baby.
It's weird.
Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah. It's weird.
But yeah, he's like, your help would be pointless. You might as well train to fight the bear.
Yeah.
And then Boimler says that the ritual of Jathru or whatever, because he knows all about the Klingon minutia. Yeah.
Which that I bought wonderfully because he's not anal attentive, but he really cares. And if he's gone through a phase, cool. Although it would have been nice, I keep changing things, but had last week been a Klingon admiral, then getting to know him at the pleasure resort would have got into Klingon culture. I know that's weird retconning thing, but I would like to see more connective tissue between them, a bit more, whatevering. Although, was he drinking blood wine last week? Someone was drinking. Yeah, no, he was.
Yeah, he was drinking blood wine at
last
the end
scene.
of the episode.
Yeah, which I called. Yeah, I just wish it's a bit more. Like, I know you're more fond of episodic, but when you know there's a big plot, they can't just have it shown in the last two. It's not a big plot then. It's a two-parter with a few Easter eggs, right? So I wish there was more notable through line. Because him going beard isn't enough. It's something, but it's not enough, right? Anyway. But it's cool he wins out.
Yeah, he does mention that this ritual was last performed 300 years ago to regain the captaincy. But
And they set up, and they use the rite of forced conscription. So every bit's in for the end is in the start, which I appreciate for sure.
Yep.
That's good. And I also like the fact that, as I said this in our editor review, that I like that the subtext here is that these live and breathe Klingonness, and we get that throughout. Doesn't mean you know everything, because it's so normal, you don't think about most stuff, and obviously if you're not dealing with the minutia, right? It's like there's an English law still about holding something as silly as holding a turnip near a certain famous building, because it's a law from like the 1600s, and someone did it in front of a police officer, and they were like, what? It's like, see, you don't know the law, do you? Like, that's a arrestable offence. But minutia, right? That is the law. So I love the fact that he's outlawing them, because these are freaking currently a farmer and a farmer. I don't know, right? I like that. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, really obscure laws that somebody that studies the culture might get in an interesting little packet of information, but you growing up in it don't even think about or would never know, right?
Well, I mean, 300 years, no one's done it, so that is super.
Yeah.
All that said, though, it would have been nice, and as we always say, if they had linked that directly to the NX-01 with a mission, then
I thought they were going that way too.
Then we explain why Boimler knows about it. And I'm gonna jump in again. If he'd said about this, and then the Klingon leader guy's like, hasn't happened since 280 years, since the NX-01, and it hard cuts to Scott Bakula reprising his role randomly in an NX-01 set, talking to view screens, like, oh my god, we're getting NX-01 flashback. Holy shit, right? That would have been a blowing you away kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Archer with the pain sticks, like, Jesus Christ. Holy hell, wow. Like, that would have been 10 out of 10, right? Like a brand new scene with T'Pol and Archer with pain sticks. Like, this is amazing. See, there were ways they could have made this really strong. This is pretty strong. What do you guys think? Am I going too far? Am I relying on Trek universe to improve current universe? Let me know.
Speak up.
Yes.
Or forever hold your peace. All right. Then we get the Cluathans beaming aboard, and I love the first comment is like, classic Starfleet. Let me guess, you never vacuumed the carpet.
Carpet.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the Secret Service.
Yeah.
It's a super small joke, but it's just the way it's played is funny. And also one of them, okay, say the names again, because one sounds like eggnog, which amuses me greatly.
Oh yeah.
It's dumb, but it's fun.
Legnog.
Yeah, all I hear is, it's Ambassador Eggnog! That's all I heard every time they said it.
Yeah.
And the ship broke down, which I didn't catch last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good acting.
Ray Ricks.
Oh.
Ray Ricks, 5 pounds.
Thank you.
I looked at the life in the UK test recently. Couldn't answer half the questions.
Oh. Yeah.
That's disappointing.
That's the thing about being here, right?
Anyway. And I love how Freeman's getting frustrated at this point because they keep insulting her ship, and she's like, Dr. Magumo, just take over before I say something undiplomatic.
Mm-hmm. Which is ironic, because they're bloody the least important taste test people she could ever deal with in her context. And yet she has these really important negotiation missions, and she can't handle these two people. Like to the point of almost breaking. You see why she's not on a bigger ship? You know what I mean? It's a really good little case study. Like, yeah, she's fine where she is.
Yeah.
she's not a diplomat because she's not very diplomatic. I mean, she's fine, but like, not that diplomatic.
And then they say a Cluathan in Starfleet, shouldn't you be discovering new soups and stews? To which he says, I've encountered a few chowders.
I love that. That's a really yeah. There's lovely, like the little stuff is really good here, but the overall story hasn't got, as I guess, many twists I want. But yeah, I love the small stuff. And what are Tendi and Rutherford doing? How's their plot going this week?
Wonderfully. They haven't done anything.
Yes. Tendi came back for this?
Yeah, I know, right? Not a band account, $2. Long live King Charles III. Long live the king.
Woo! There you go. Thank you. Appreciate it. And then we get one of the silliest, funniest references ever.
Experience Beej. You experience Beej. I like their bikes, though.
Cool. It's great. Very Coruscantian. In the sense like traffic, because you never see hover things really in Trek. So, but it makes sense for here. Very in keeping with their whatever civilian outfits. Again, as you said, they could do custom, cosplay. And yeah, I don't know exactly where Beej came from, but I know.
I don't remember the origin, like the first time I heard it either. But
I knew exactly the context, just not where it's from.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that it's such a. Obviously, these guys swear, and even the way they say patach, like these clones are really sweary as part of their nomenclature. But it makes sense, right? Everything feels approached. So this is very like, yeah, I buy it. I like it.
Yeah.
So many spikes, goodness.
Yeah, it's Klingon Oversight Council.
I love the guy with an eye. He's an eye patch and a monocle. That's great. He's in a couple of shots.
Monocle? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, behind them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he lets them in, so that's a cleaner shot.
Are you sure it's a mana?
Well, it's a glasses of some kind, right?
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Interesting.
It's just a fun look.
Yeah. Yeah, do not speak to the general like that. He was a war hero. So this is a war hero general.
Yes, the guy from season 1, episode 2 of Lower Decks, which they walked around the reference field when Lower Decks wanted to put references everywhere. Stuart, remember those days?
I do.
And they lost him for most of it.
And then he pukes, and I guess I wasn't done sleeping off last night's feast. Now I feel better. Brimbo, Mariner and Brimbo. It's like way more actually, but glad to be remotely remembered.
Yeah, I mean 4 years ago, one time, he was memorable then. And boy, the Klingon guy has a shitty looking costume in comparison. I love that. What a contrast. That's great.
So why are you on the oversight committee? Oh, I threw my back out disemboweling a Romulan spy. It's like, okay, let's see that, please.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I just wish I knew more context about this group, because the way they play this is second time watch. The main guy, I recognize the voice. He's definitely been a Klingon before. I know he's been somewhere. Great, but he plays it too bumbling near the end, especially. Again, why is he in this role of this council? He feels like it's a stupid council for a low-ranking house. So I wish they played more into that. Like, this is just House Elec, which has only 3 ships. Like, something silly, because it's just, I don't know how to take this. He's dumber than he should be for this council.
Yeah.
Also,
this is the guy whose brother he murdered.
Yeah,
so.
which brother he murdered? Did we see that? Was that from the episode?
Yeah, that was in the episode with him. I don't remember it specifically.
Is this the guy from Wage Douche? Who then, because the guy in season 4 is this guy with the sharp knives, but I know put together he's the guy from Wage Douche as the ensign, because going from that guy to this guy seems very quick, but whatever. Because if it is, then you can argue this guy killed that captain who's this guy's brother.
I don't know. We'd have to rewatch it and piece it together.
I wonder if that's
somebody knows. Somebody out there knows.
I wonder if that's the voice actor who played that guy from season 2, the Packard Captain Klingon guy. Hence, same voice. That's why he seems familiar.
Maybe.
I'm gonna go look.
Do that, guys. Go vote in the poll. We have 35 votes. We'd like to get more though.
Oh yeah, guys. 300 votes.
There's only 32 people here, so it's still pretty good. And 25 likes, which with 32 people here, that likes can be better, guys. Let's get up to 30. Hit the like button if you haven't already.
Let's see if he is the same guy. Oh, loud.
So that he should be honor for me. I am filling in at the helm.
Yes, I think it's the same guy. As in the same guy as the Wage Douche ensign.
The Empire still strikes terror. Klingon blood runs as reddish
I'm just listening to it briefly.
Klingons joining Starfleet, studying at Bajoran Academy.
That's actually a good episode. I never put that together as the same guy. Okay, so guest stars. But continue, it's fine.
Yeah, and this guy's like, you'll never step foot on a Klingon ship again as long as I'm in charge of the council.
Which is
to
fair.
which point,
Kill brother,
yeah.
fair, yeah.
To which Boimler says, "Aha! He initiated the ritual of Jathruk, whatever it is." And then we get a Smoothhead reference. What is this smooth-headed worm mewing about? Which you would assume Smoothhead would be kind of an insult in the Klingon culture. So.
Yep. I'd like a bit more of that is all.
Alright. Oh, we got 32 likes now. See, you guys are awesome.
And everything is awesome. I also like in this bit they actively say you have to do these 3 things, and they are the 3 things that they have to do, with sacrifice being the last one. So second watch it's sort of knowing. But if that's the intention going in, which it clearly is, do you bring some idiot that you want to kill? Because that's the ritual, to kill someone at the end.
They don't mention the 3 things though.
Oh, they do. He says this as an sacrifice in the scene. Yeah.
Well, he says you must have at least 4 companions. Yeah. Mariner. No.
Yeah, before that. Which I loved.
Okay. The ancient texts state that the discharged captain can be restored via tests of endurance, strength, and sacrifice. Doesn't mean sacrifice a member of the crew. It means.
I mean he said sacrifice, right? That's all we
yeah,
have to go on.
That could mean a lot of things.
It could, but it was said, which is why I like that, because I'm wondering if that was the intent. Who are you sacrificing then? I just find it interesting. Right?
Mariner grabs the brother and he's like, "I don't want to help him." Well, will you do it for 1,000 Desics? I think she says.
But Stuart, they don't have money. And also episode 2, they celebrated a no money economy. She's paying a guy.
Yeah, but the Federation guys always get their hands on credits if they need it. There's been many undercover operations where they have money.
I know, but we just had an episode celebrating that, and now we got this, so it's a bit hypocritical. Because that was very much celebrated a certain way. Like, I'm fine with this way, but to have the other one be so blatant kind of goes against this in the same season as well. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the brother being called in the way he was. That was great. He's a gentle giant.
Boimler's all excited. This is going to be Klingon as hell.
Pain sticks. Yes.
And we're back on the Cerritos, and they're complaining about the fluorescent lights. And it's like, well, Starfleet lighting has been scientifically attuned to suit all living beings. That's great. To which Miglimo offers them the most delectable meals on the Cerritos. Au jus, Mondarian beef loin, and mac and cheese with breaded top. Both sound really good. The berries I could do without, though. And that's all that the birds... Well, no, they do take the meat on this one. They take the berry on the hogfish later. But I love their own personal set of cutlery, including a bird-like tong thing. So they are the reason Picard's lighting sucks. Yes, Scottish Nightmare. There was more of these Cloathans on board, and they decided that they needed to dim the lights. Perfect reasoning.
Oh. Yes, no, it's great. I like the stuff that we talk about, you know, carpet and lights. It's all very how we see a lot of this stuff. It is fun. I like the meals. I like the silliness of the really fancy thing, and then mac and cheese. Yep, very Trek. That's way of doing it. I just don't get how they think they can get away with saying it tastes like nothing. At least pretend it tastes passable or okay, or you proved instantly by the fact this is not correct. It's odd.
I also hate that it's just a touch of the tongue, and it's like, pugh. It's like you just ate a little piece. You need to check out that mac and cheese, man. That'll be good stuff.
Yeah,
Anyway.
at least this one actually tastes the main thing. But obviously, you know, like steak, if you're caramelizing the top, you're not even getting to the middle bit. It tastes different, right?
Won't get into the meat of it.
Exactly.
See what I did there? That's
I
funny.
did. Although I love the bird thing, as you said, that's a really fun.
Yeah. He's like, I programmed the replicator myself. Replicated? Blasphemy. How dare you call yourself a chef? Well, I don't. I'm a psychologist.
And it's a slappable offense.
More of a chef of the mind.
It's a great setup for later.
Yeah.
That's my favourite little bit, because again, in commentary, why would you think making a replicated meal for these guys was smart? You would. He's not a chef, fine, but it's just such an interesting idea. Yeah, how can you replicate a gourmet meal this special, this custom? But so obviously, so I like that disparity, which is good. And then
because there's been many references to Trek that replicated food just doesn't taste as good as the real thing, just slightly off, you know. So yeah, I would make this makes sense. And later, when he makes the hogfish, I assumed that it was going to be like, I prepared it myself. I replicated all of the ingredients from scratch. Was it still replicated food then? So I thought that was going to be the thing after that one as well. But it's fine.
Yeah, and I didn't guess the first time, but I appreciate the second time. They say his quarters, which is the kitchen. That's why I was thinking, why have we got an oven? Because he's the race that likes food. That's awesome, actually. I like that as a second time. But if he had all the oven to make stuff, why the hell would he think replicating food is appropriate for these rich people? It's like taking it's like going to an art critic and doing a Photoshop, but there are critics that review oil paintings. It's like, did you print it out on Photoshop? Yeah. Right? Is it? Yeah. But does it mean? Yeah. But yeah, he's so culturally locked in to being like, they are the best of the best, therefore I am scum.
Yes, I'll be written into the book of the flavorless.
So how was Tendi and Rutherford in this scene?
Pointless.
Excellent. Moving on. Back to Klingons.
And even later, I want to say too about that hogfish thing, where I thought it was going to be. He hands it to them and says, with the help of my Starfleet friends, which I thought was going to be another smash against them, like, did you cook this or did they? Kind of thing. But it's just my mind doing things. I apologize.
Yes. We get Boimler knowing stuff about Kalas, which is great, although a little bit condescending here, because like this is, you know, I'm telling you about your own culture. It's like, yes, I know all of the I love
all about the Thorn murders.
Yeah, that's my favourite line, pretty much. It's such a good way of phrasing it. Although Feklar, don't think he killed the demon. Don't think he killed the devil. I think that was a whole thing in TNG that they didn't kill the devil.
Anyway, it was cool that Feklar was mentioned. Yeah, the rite of unending pain symbolizes Kalas's passage through this field of thorns, enduring violence with every step.
Violence with every step.
Once Kalis made it across the field, he tore the thorns from his legs and used them to kill Feklar. Yes, I know all about Kalis's thorn murders.
Yeah, great stuff. And yes, it is indeed the same voice actor played the brother, who is the douche captain. So this is the official closeout of his arc. Well, as low-key as it is, could have done the flashback, couldn't they? Last time on, would have been useful. What do you think about the disco-coloured version versus the TNG non-coloured version?
Of the path?
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense as a trial thing. Like, each section, the voltage doubles, right? I prefer the original one, honestly. But this is kind of neat to have, like, even like a game show, a Klingon game show.
Yep.
Where it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit too bright for me, but I like the idea. I wish it was more muted, just a bit more. But yeah, it's a cool. I like the idea. I think I said in another review that this is just the janitors, the side guys that don't do any real warrioring, but they're here to do this occasionally. So it's like, right, Bob, Jeff, Gary, come be the pain squad guys. Yeah. And they have to vent their frustration of only being target cleaners by getting to pain stick people. So, you know, sounds good.
I gotta go find my pain stick, and I'm not sure where I put it. Is it in my closet or under my bed?
I didn't charge it yet. Oh no, it's out of charge.
It's not charged.
I have to in the first rung. But I'm not in the first rung. I know, but I got charged. There are jokes you could make, right?
Yeah.
And this is when she buys him. I love it. Great dialogue. Which also works better the second time because, you know, he doesn't want to do it. So the low keenness works. Yeah. Although, kind of is the problem with lots of modern bring back your heroes. Having them be sad the whole episode doesn't do them any justice. Like, it's not exciting. So he's, you know, so dour it's not quite as fun as it could have been. Right? But I get it.
It's like he doesn't want his captaincy back, but he's doing it for Mariner. I don't know. It just seems... Yeah.
He was kind of forced into it. But yeah, they get pained, and it looks pretty harsh.
Great reactions, though. Even Boimler's, like, kind of excited about it. Ah, it's so Klingon. I can't believe I'm getting pain-sticked.
And not hollow, real ones. But what do you guys think, though? Let us know in the chat. You know, we want this audience interaction. Let us know what you think of these scenes so far. Throw in something in the chat, guys. Just say something interesting.
Eric Martin, I need to catch up on lower decks once I get a tricorder fixed. Yes.
I get that.
Do you? You get the reference?
Yes.
Anyway, the pain sticks go up to full charge. And it's like, wait a minute. It's like the maximum pain stick voltage is like 30,000 volts. Can we even handle that much? No, we'll die. So his idea is to get on Malar's back and all of them, and it would distribute the voltage throughout all of them. It's not really how voltage works, but that's fine.
How do you say his name?
Malor.
Which is so odd to me, because the official anti-hero of all Klingon culture is Kes' brother Molor.
Yes. He's Malor, though.
I know. He's the bastard that everyone hates. He's the Antichrist, in essence, but was really a guy. So to name the brother of this guy almost the same name, what a ballsy mum to name the son basically, you know, Adalt. Adalf.
That's...
Adalf, here. Adalf Molor. Sorry, okay.
That's why the Klingons hated the Federation so much, because our teeth are full of molars. Like, there's so many molars in each of our mouths. It's like, ah.
I mean, honestly, that's what T'Kuvma thought. I hate the Moloch. I fight them.
That's why they talk like that, because they removed all their molars and have no teeth. So
and the hair. Yeah, I like in concept this because it's very cartoon silly, and I love the edit when Mariner throws her batleth at the guy and he catches it. It's just a very quick edit, but it's a really funny one. But I think this counts as cheating, because honourable is you deal with it as a person, but the issue is, of course, if it's going to kill you, then by definition it's an unwinnable situation. So it's a bit confused because the thing's meant to kill you, which means you can't complete it, which is why it's being completed. But you're allowed to cheat to live past an unbeatable. It's a weird one, right?
think it's to show your cleverness to become for captaincy. That's what I think. It's a problem-solving thing.
It just looks silly, and you wouldn't imagine Worf like grabbing Martok
No,
and someone jumping on him.
No, they would just grab each other.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you could do the sensible version, but I really, really wish they'd done a slightly more clever version, which was the boy and the mariner say 30,000 volts would kill a human. Ah, it's fine for a Klingon warrior of strength, but we're not Klingon. Ah,
It might knock us out. Like I could see a not killing a Klingon, but to the point of enough pain to almost pass out.
Yeah, it's just
so
that,
yes, you
it's
could
that
handle
top
it by
tier.
yourself. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So therefore, they need to be clever, which is why they go. So do it, F it, right? Small tweak, but otherwise the thing would literally kill a Klingon, which sort of defeats the. And they're not dumb. They just whatever.
And Eric throws in $5.
Ooh.
They should have said, "Let Mikey try the pain sticks. He'll like it. Mikey likes everything." Yes.
Mikey.
It's an
Who?
80s. Mikey. Give it to Mikey. Mikey will eat anything. It's an old commercial from the 80s.
Oh, like the guy
It's a
from
cereal
Orville
commercial.
eats everything.
Sure.
Yeah. But yet they win, to the great surprise of the other guy. And back to the subplot with the only good joke for Tendi that she can cut like a ninja.
Yep.
Although Delta's on the blades is dumb. You don't need to brand knives. You don't need to brand knives, guys. That's silly.
It's a thing now, apparently.
I know. I should do it in live action just to annoy people, just that everything's branded.
Yeah. And Rutherford uses his implant to say that the sauce is ready. My implant says the sauce is ready, Dr. Chef.
That's
Dr.
a funny
Chef
line.
is funny. But that's like Rutherford's only good contribution to this episode.
And I thought the joke of Tendy's great. Simple but great. And Rutherford's is not a joke nor great. It's just a thing that anyone with a tricorder could do. Really, right? I was surprised how little he had. Yeah, it was odd. Very, very odd. But I love seeing his quarters, though. He's got books, and the chef stuff.
Yeah.
Tree.
And the hogfish looks miraculously like a human, well, Earth's blobfish, just with more eyes. It's like the blobfish that they pulled out of the river in Springfield.
There we go.
Now it's called hogfish.
And again, a delta on a candle holder. Guys, come on. Have some self-respect.
I think at this point they're making fun of Discovery, just branding everything.
But if everybody does it all the time, it becomes the norm, and then it's not a joke anymore, it's reality. Which makes Discovery more legitimate because it's everyone lower decks. It's a problem. Oh, I love the bow ties. Little gag. Although, weird thing to do, but okay.
Oh, yes, that's the servers, yeah.
And again, as you said, that you can't judge this dish by eating a garnish on the top.
Yeah, exactly.
So the scene is definitely. I mean, at this point, we're meant to think this is non-logical, right? But like, how do they think this is going to get across to people? It doesn't work really from a logical thing. They could have done this scene better. Just from a structural point of view, it's funny, but it's like, well, I guess you don't think a cartoon. Don't think about it too hard, right? But Lower Decks has more logic than that, so.
Yeah. Starfleet never heard of salt? It's covered in it.
Yeah. And they've scienced it to be perfect, right? Rutherford,
Yeah,
you
it's
scienced
perfect
it.
amount of salt. No matter how much you shake on, it just reduces the sodium until it's perfectly healthy for you. It's fine. I don't know.
But now he's in trouble for trying to poison them with bad food, kind of.
Yeah, and Freeman's like, you can't arrest a member of my crew.
I mean, you're going to go to the sovereignty of us being here. That's a fair point. If they're official diplomatic people, I mean, that's a fair point.
Banish your entire family from the great seating chart.
I mean, I thought it took a bit easy on them, personally. I thought it was going to be from life. But not quite.
Oh, yes. And then we get the next challenge. That's a big targ.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they're using the 4 people that are there. I think that's part of the ritual. Now that I've said that, because everybody was supposed to grab a leg to take this targ down, which works. So that's 4 people. You need 4 people to get past the high voltage pain sticks. Maybe it's to show you're a good captain and can work with the team as your crew, because this ritual is specifically for getting your captaincy back.
Good point, but you say that, and I thought that as well, but then they run at him, the guy gets thrown out instantly, so he's not on the leg, and then the one brother ties him up and they joke he helped, but they didn't help, implying he did it all by himself. So only one person needs to do it, so you don't need the 4 legs, that's just the setup. And also, this is clearly not the normal targ, this is that he picked his biggest targ for lols. They say it's your targ, right? So it's kind of like, it could be any, this happens to be this, Boy, they grow big. Like,
well, everybody did grab a leg. The Ma just got thrown off.
But pretty instantly, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to make sense of the ritual, and I like my thinking because it's a captaincy ritual. You got to work with your team. You have to pick one to die, because that might be a thing for a captain.
Oh god, actually, that'd be hilarious if the first round kills one guy, second round kills another guy, and if you sacrifice a third guy for the third one, it leaves you left. Perfect!
Maybe.
But this is really weird tonally. I like it as a gag, but it's like, oh, is that easy? Okay. It's kind of anticlimactic for this level of like electric fence, and it's like, I would just cut this whole thing out personally. I'd do something more clever instead. It's just not overly clever. I have too big a targ. I don't know how I could grow that way, but yeah, it's fine.
And then Trimmet's nails expressed at St. Ogland. It's like, wait a minute, this is just your turn. You can't fuck with us. I can fuck with you. This weakling, I love this part. This weakling killed my brother. Oh, a weakling killed your brother, huh? Well, then your brother must have sucked.
Fair. Fair.
That was great. Props to Mariner for that. Anyway, yes, the final challenge. To demonstrate your allegiance to the Empire, you must choose a member of your crew to sacrifice.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
He chooses himself.
Which also doesn't make a lot of sense, because if you're choosing yourself, then you wasted all your time doing this. But at this point, it's...
But your corpse would be labeled a captain.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
Good. What?
If I die, I take my arms to the grave. So, yeah.
But I like to think, I appreciate to think that this is let's think more in general, whatever. He's actively using the letter of the law, but not the spirit of the law. It could be sacrifice some blood, sacrifice your eye, sacrifice a finger. They're not specific. So he's doing everything as dramatic as possible, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to kill your own people.
Yeah. Well, he does say, like, what's with the defeatist... Mariner says, what's with the defeatist attitude? And he's like, my heart is not in the challenge.
Clearly.
Yeah. Then he goes on to say that, working with you guys has kind of reminded me that I don't want to be a captain, because I was in his fleet. So he was always under his banner, and my time in the stars is over.
So that, I think, was a really nice twist. It wasn't just not ships. It was this fleet, this division. This makes a lot of sense.
It might be a regional thing. Like, this guy's in charge of this regional fleet.
Yeah.
So
that's what I mean. It feels like I mean, they've got 24 houses, right? It's a house.
Yeah.
And he's a really terrible branch manager of District 6.
District 6.
Well, but I wish we had more of that, because I would love.
Yeah.
I would love if at the end they said, "Well done." What's his name? Mach. Well done, Mach. You are great.
Just Mach.
Sorry. Well, great Mach. Mach, you are now captain of the Badech, the 99th 100th ship of the 47th Armada of the 19th District of the 4th Division of the 3rd Imperial Army of the 14th KDF Division of the 7th General of the 9th Arm. And it's like, and then you see a little chart of the branches, like the lowest possible rung. That would be funny to me, right? That's sort of like, well done, you succeeded. You're now rank 1 of 8,000, right? That's just me. But it's a good reason.
Well,
oh shit! Oh.
Yeah, the scene where he's talking about don't want to be a captain, not having his heart in it, and then Boimler speaks up and says, "I was transferred to one of the coolest ships in Starfleet.
Yeah,
realized it wasn't for me, so I transferred back to the Cerritos. Sometimes it's just what you got to do, what's best for you, right? So, yeah. And then Klingons cannot simply transfer. Well, they can. They needed a 2/3 majority vote. The other two come up. I love it.
Yeah. Kind of a inbuilt cheat that we had 2/3 of the group.
Yeah.
But it's all
But
good.
you still have to select one of us to die. And Boyman was like, I'll do it.
And so
Shut up.
Boimler-like.
You will not.
Now, I thought they were going to play a scene here. I can't remember where we've seen it before, but where they have a hyperspray that will rejuvenate them, and then so he will get killed, but in a way that wouldn't kill him permanently, and that would be the end.
Times.
But
yeah.
why is he generally saying I'm like he's committing suicide, right? Like that again, that's so unboimler. That's not. It only works as you forget about it, but he's committing suicide here. This is a bizarre moment. There's no Starfleet ship in orbit.
I think he's just so wrapped up in the Klingonness and the ritual that he's just like, I'm so excited.
Yeah, but
that's what it's kind of come across the whole time.
I know, but if I wrote that in a fan film, I'd be like, that's not. I don't believe that, right? I know it's different.
Yeah, but it's Lower Decks. Come on, that's funny.
I know.
It's a fucking hilarious scene.
Apart from that one. But back to Cerritos, they are leaving, and I appreciate
the Kluwakin Nest World. I gotta point out, Nest World, not Home World.
A great version of everything. Yeah, they hate everything. Jeez.
So he's going to prison where there's no butter allowed. The only place on the planet with no butter.
Yeah. But they get a ceremonial meal when they get there, which I like. And you can definitely see in this version, you can see their brains whirring. So how are Tendi and Rutherford doing in this scene?
I mean, Tendi points out that the last reviews have been all bland. Trying Klingons' most disgusting blood wines, reacting to the most repulsive space snacks, taste testing the most revolting food around the galaxy.
All hate clicks, aren't they?
So yeah, I mean, Tendi does something.
Now, how is that specific to Tendi and her skills?
I don't know.
She can read. Yeah, they are incredibly underutilized. Back to Klingons. Love his quarters. He went for a nap. He's that bored of them. And a little coffee cup as well. I guess for waking up coffee. And I guess it's next to because they've thrown him into the couch chamber, so I guess he sleeps next to it. I guess his office has a couch, or a sofa, or a bed. Although they sleep on no mattresses. Boy, yeah, for Klingons that don't like soft things, he has 3 bloody pillows. What a shitty Klingon. That's actually a really good point. Three pillows! Not 1, not 2, 3! He's comfortable, Stuart! The patach!
How dare he be comfortable?
Yeah, no, how dare he? I'm offended. Anyway.
I'm offended that you're offended.
Excellent. So now a very dramatic scene where they almost burn the room as well, and it's goofy and confusing. At least that's how I found it.
Yeah. I invoke the ritual of involuntary conscription. I refuse. Is there even such a thing? It's like, well, then you will die. You need to fight. Yeah.
How does some lowly non-commissioned officer...
Rituals. That's how.
So any civilian can commission a general to be in his army?
If they invoke this right and they lose the battle, yeah. I guess.
Okay. Yes. Guys, what do you think? Things and Bob. Say some things, guys. Be part of the conversation.
Perfect.
Did you find it confusing, this battle? A bit confused, but...
What's going on?
No, I meant the actual cinematography.
No.
Oh.
It's pretty epic. Not what I expected from Lower Decks, and especially the way it ends, but...
But a younger guy wins pretty easily, which makes sense. And
you still have to sacrifice someone. Well, because of this ritual, you're now part of the team. So guess what? Either you can name me captain, or I can choose you to be sacrificed.
Which is then funny because it would then make the whole, it would. It's like, how can you disarm a ritual by the initial problem be solved by a thing that he can decide? But should the ritual have to be done in either way? It's a weird on that. But he chooses a third option, which is fuck you.
Yeah.
I did not expect to stab through the gut. was pretty twisty. And also, you would think he'd know where to stab him to kill him, so he's doing a non-killing blow. I'm just saying, right? These are all good warriors, and you don't see that many stabs in Trek ever. So you'd think.
Yeah, but every time it is a stab, it's a non-fatal one, pretty much.
Except the second stab. But damn gruesome. This is a really hard-hitting little scene with great blood and grape blood. It's both. Wah, wah. Thank you. With great dialogue, great pacing. The stab is brutally brutal. And the fling down is horrendous, and it's really good. And no one gives a shit that they just killed one of the top generals of this something unknown. No one is fazed. I know it's honourable and it's fine, but this guy's an important job. No one gives a shit.
Does he, though?
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
You think it's be on the nightly news?
I mean, maybe, but it was honorable, so it's fine.
I'll say he's going to get in trouble for it, just big guy to kill. And he's fine. You know, it's only a flesh wound. Oh, what's that film where they've hugely... Was it Monty Python? Where flesh wounds are actually brutally horrible injuries?
No, well, Monty Python is in the search for the Holy Grail. The
Yeah.
Black Knight gets his both arms, both legs
Just a flesh
cut off.
wound.
Tis but a flesh wound.
Yes, that's one thing of.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Croatian guards are badass. They do. Eric, yes. And then that's the end of the main plot, and we cut to them. Well, the shuttle, or the tanker, really.
Yeah, and we hear that she was sent to actually investigate this fissure, and this other guy hated them so much he wouldn't allow them in Klingon space. So they did we found a skull to bring to your bone museum thing.
Well,
but I need a captain.
I wish we'd seen that, so that would totally be a Discovery Klingon skull. You know what I mean? Like,
that would have been funny.
Yeah, ancient Klingon. Cool. Yep, got it. Perfect.
Yeah.
I really want to see a skull museum. Like that's.
I think it was a bone museum.
Well, yeah. Well, it was also just whatever the hell she said. I really wanted to see that. I'd have been really cool to see him. Just I don't know. Or just a Klingon museum. Then you could have like a Klingon in this museum is our bones. This museum is all of our guns. Whoa! All the disruptors.
Like you would do that. You did all this to scan a hole. It's a pretty cool hole. I didn't expect to get the guy killed, but I need a captain.
Yeah. No giving a shit about the guy being killed. Really bad Mariner moment there. But the joke itself is really good about the hole. But it's weird we don't see the scan, because he's scanned in this goddamn tug. This bar thing. Like, do you really think this little cargo thing has good sensors? Surely you should send a bigger ship. And this general isn't high enough rank to go. Like it's a confusing scene because they need a captain. The captain's had a stab wound, so the captain. But why not just not tell them and have them on another ship? It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, like that's where he says, "I have an idea." It's like, "Oh, we're gonna get a good, cool ship shot," and it's like, "No, we just gotta wait back to the Meglamo."
Post scan. It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, I do like the fact the screen's still shattered. It's tiny,
yes.
But it's nice.
Yeah.
But at least they referenced the anomaly. But for goodness sake, wish they were showing it every week. The anomaly. Because it's not good enough. It's not good enough as a plot thread. It's too big and it's just not being utilised in a meaningful way. Like, cool, meaningful way, I should say.
But they get to the Cloathan prison, and they get the final meal. And you see Tandy turn her back for a second as the plate goes by.
Yeah.
Very brief.
Yeah, the second time you can see it, but it's literally a second.
It's really quick, yeah.
Because she had to pipe, because they wouldn't know which one they were going to take, so she had to throw away and repipe 4. And I thought originally they'd called ahead and told them to swap them as a test, but they do it in less than a second. 4, too quick an edit. I don't buy it, but it's cool in its own way, and shows how much bullshit they are because they're obviously lying.
This smells like shit. But it tastes like shit. It's like, yeah.
The abrupt beep swear words do work in lower decks. And
Well, you actually hear shit and just a tiny beep
Yeah.
in the middle. Like, you can still hear the word, which I love.
But I love that brutal, simple word. And I love the faces as you use on the screen. They were rumbled. But I'm surprised they rumbled before. Like, it's such a... Yeah. But that's okay.
But they literally use manure.
And the piping bag has a delta on it! Woo!
It does. Anyhow. Yeah, we lost our senses. We can't tell if things are sweet, salty, or gizulant. And Miglimo figures out, they were terrified they'd be found out. Cloathan without a sense of taste is no cloathan at all.
Makes sense.
Conversion disorder. The pressure of producing criticism has caused you to lose the very thing that causes your stress.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Fine, yeah. He's a what's it called? A thingy of the mind? Yeah. I'll buy it.
Yeah. Can you help us? Yes, it'll take many sessions. But you have to provide the high-end catering. You'll eat like a king. And then is that ethical? Those two are... Just let him have his win. I love Freeman there. That's great.
It's fair, because he's being not only bribed, but also, all the different things. Yeah, we don't care. She also doesn't care that much.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm vaguely corrupt, it's fine. So how are Tendi and Rutherford in this scene?
Awful.
Okay, good. Back on the farm with a giant targ. But not too giant. Medium-sized dog.
Yep.
That's a lot of barrels of blood wine, my god. They're in good business, aren't they?
But yeah, the Cerritos Replicator's got a 2-star review from Legnog and Gunald. It's like, what? I don't even care.
Is that 2 stars out of, I assume out of 10? Because it's got to be terrible,
Oh,
right?
5. There's usually 5-star ratings.
Oh, but they hated it.
2's not a great rating for a 5-star rating.
I guess if you gave it 1, it'd be too obvious. Even though it went, ugh! But yeah, funny side note, the fact that he would care enough to check home, see if there's any news happening, is on, Cerritos' Twitter. It's like, oh, we got 2 stars. What? Because I buy he would know who they are. I'd buy that.
Yeah. But yes, they did get their data. They were assuming that these dimensional rifts were natural occurrence, but looks like someone's making them. Which is going to be great. Hopefully, kickstarts next episode this storyline.
Yep, really hope so. And a really gentle end. He's choosing to be. He's a captain again of his wine ship, which he was kind of already captain of because
He calls it truck.
Sure, but he kind of already was a captain, just not in name because he was on piloting it and doing the orders and.
Yeah.
But I like Martok was started small and he went big, so he does want to be big captain again, even though he's already a captain. Anyway, and yeah, his brother's going to be his first mate, so he's going to abandon the farm at some point because obviously they're going to have to do non-farm related things to get recognised as a captain beyond what they're already doing. Confusing and doesn't make a lot of sense, but they're going to put the horn back on, so it's fine. And nothing bad will happen with the horns because the horns are a great idea. Every time they're a great idea.
Well, it's a jawbone, but yes. I thought they were horns too until I just read the thing. It's jawbone.
Okay.
Yeah, you would make an excellent Chadich. He called me a freaking Chadich.
Yeah.
Anyway. And yeah, then the bone falls on him and he's like, I can see Kalas. The first one, the original one, the one that did impressions. I laughed at that.
Yeah, I mean, literally is the last word of the episode. I didn't even hear it because it was so like, oh, in the episode.
Yeah.
Yes, it's funny. And then we end. I really thought it would be post-credit, this one. The way it flies off, I thought it was going to fade down, fade up, anomaly, something.
Yeah, me too.
I really felt it needed a punch out, and it just didn't. I guess they made a lower budget this season because they felt they're missing a lot of those opportunities. But I've said that a few times now. But there you go.
Yeah.
A really gentle end. It all works well. They took a shuttle into Kronos? Wow. Cool. Good for them. That's a long trip. God. Bloody hell. They spent weeks at Warp. A week at Warp, yeah.
Maybe the Cerritos in orbit and back now. Who knows? Who knows how long this took?
I mean, going through Klingon space is weeks at high warp anyway. Anyway, a shuttle is going to be months. They don't care.
Not in the Kelvin verse. It takes a day to get from Earth to Kronos.
Yeah, I wish they'd care more about speed and Trek, because I really try and care. It's annoying. All right, Stuart. Episode 4. So, how do you feel? No. You have a call to arms to our tremendous audience to do.
Guys, we're about to go to our final reviews, discussion points, and scores. We want you to do the same. Anything you want to say about this episode or give us a score out of 10, super chat those in. I will read those after we are done. If you just want to throw it in the regular chat, Sam will read those. But and a couple super chats would help out immensely. So if you can, please super chat in your scores out of 10. And let us know your final thoughts on this episode as well while we're talking about it. There. That's an order.
Yes. Or you'll experience douche. I won't be happy. That's that kind of thing. So, Stuart, what do you think of Lower Deck Season 4, Episode 5? No, 5, Episode 4. And has it changed since our review has happened?
I don't think it's changed. Again, it's a really enjoyable episode. Boimler makes me laugh in this one a few times. Mariner's kind of on point for being Mariner, so those characters got treated well. Tendi and Rutherford, not so much. The Cloathan stuff is interesting enough to hold my interest for a couple seconds, and I'm glad it was a very small part of the episode. The Klingon stuff was much better. I think they could have delved a little further into a few things and showed a few more Easter eggs or had a cameo or something. Even just another ship would have been nice. So there's things that they missed out on. But overall, for a Klingon episode, I really enjoyed it. I don't know why. I don't know what drew me to it specifically, but I've enjoyed it every time I've watched it. And like I said earlier, I find a lot of Klingon-heavy or Klingon-centric episodes just kind of bore me generally. So, I don't know. They definitely could have made a few changes and tweaks here and there. I'm glad that the Cloathan stuff wasn't its own separate episode, because that would have been a totally wasted episode. It might have had an interesting B-plot, but... And also the scanning the fissure and finding out that it's made by somebody, that the multiple ones that have been occurring are artificially created. I can't wait to find out that thing. They did it better last season, like Sam kind of mentioned when we did our review earlier. They at least showed the ships getting quote unquote destroyed kind of in each episode, so you got to at least see a cool ship, you got to see something happening, you kind of got to tie that all together. Here we're only getting, literally we've seen the fissure on a pad for 2 episodes now. Fissures, we're investigating these things. It needs more. It needs something a little bit more, as Sam would say, to be the cherry on top or the sprinkles. So, but like I said, it's a mid-upper tier level episode. So for this season, I'm going to give it a 7.8 out of 10. Actually, no, hold on. For this season, I'll probably give it an 8. For all Lower Decks, I'll give it a 7.8. I think it's enjoyable enough. It's fun. And I just wish that Tendi and Rutherford had a bigger part. I wish T'Lyn was in it. But I think the Boimler and Mariner stuff is good. And it's great to see the returning Klingon character, Ma. So
it's easily your second favourite of the season so far.
What was the second episode about? Do you remember? What's it called?
Oh, is the Orion race.
Yes. It's the second favorite of this season, yes.
And the same overall Lower Deck score as episode 1, just for contrast's sake. So I'd say that's a 3.8 jumps from last week for you. And guys, 3 more super chats would be super. To get us to a number would be very much helpful. So, Stuart, do you want to ask me my thoughts?
Not really. I'm kind of done. Thanks, guys. Peace out.
Right.
Oh, wait. No. That's disrespectful. So, Sam.
Hello.
Do you invoke the ritual of finding out what the fuck your score is?
Yes, as long as there's glory in my score.
All right. There's only one trial.
Okay.
You need to take a pin and prick your finger so I get a dot of blood.
Right. And it'll become a weird morphed because I'm actually changeling.
Well, then you can write your score on the wall. That's all I was... No, it's fine. Okay, what did you think of this episode overall after watching it twice now? And also our discussion with not only me, but with these fine people in the chat. Has your opinion changed?
Some in that I was underwhelmed first time. I've become more whelmed as we went on, but because my expectations got lowered so much that I'm enjoying it for what it is, but it should have been much more. It was a very gentle, average episode with some lovely one-liners that are actually very nice. An excellent beginning that was not quite followed at the end. I wish it was even more clear that this was the two Klingons from the other episodes, because I didn't quite, especially first time, I was like, oh, that's from last season guy, which I didn't realise was the first guy for whatever reason. And I wish we had a flashback to know the same brother was actually the guy from Where's Douche, because even though we love the episode, I didn't put two and two together. Why would I think, like, that could be an off-screen guy, right? So it would have helped a little bit, a flashback or something. Whatever. And again, knowing context of the end, just if they put more thought in, I would have liked it more. All the canon lore they tended to do seasons 1, 2, and 3, I felt was slightly missing. It's more surface level this week. While still good, it's kind of missing that charm that early seasons of Lodex had. They want to really pack it filled with stuff, and it's not packed with references. It's got some, and some are nice, but it could have done more. Like I said, include a Klingon we know is somewhere, anywhere. I gave several variations of where in the bar, have Worf, whatever, just loads of little places, or a flashback to the previous ritual being the NX-01, Enterprise B, Enterprise A. Any would have been really amazing, right? Just give a bit of oomph extra, which would have been logical. But it's fun, it's silly. Miglimo stuff is good, but not great. It's a very fine B plot. I just wish the end was a bit sharper, but the start's really strong. And I like the brother a lot. I'm assuming he's going to come back at the end of the season. It would be nice. It feels like it set him up to have something more, because it's kind of an odd end. If not, don't know. Right, he's there if you need him. Boimler, as I said in their review, I'm now thoroughly convinced there's something dodgy there. I hope that's going to be awesome. Because he's not out of character, but it's a too giant a swap. If Titan didn't get him this more mature, you know, the ski mission wouldn't have. That was not big enough for him to make him be unafraid of Klingons throwing him around and smiling. That's not enough, even close to being enough.
Well, he did get praise from Ransom. I picked you because you don't give up. You're wiry. Anyway, but yeah.
Don't buy that for a second. So I'm excited to see where that goes, because he's fun, but he's now become suspicious. But as you'd said, the Section 1 Boimler, they better finish this season as being one of the main arcs. So I'm hoping something to do with him would make more sense. Score-wise, I mean, it is the second best of the season, but that's not, unfortunately, a very high bar. The first episode was the one with the Orion ship. The Orion ship? Yes. No. Yes? Yes, the Orion ship. And what was the A-plot of the first episode?
The A-plot was the fissure.
Oh, the fissure, yeah.
Running into the other Cerritos.
Yeah, that was much more fun. Yeah, but this is easily second. But so this would get a lower rank in other seasons, but it's getting a higher rank this season because the season overall is not doing the best so far. I think for me, this is a solid 7 out of 10. Score-wise, certainly, yeah, darn solid for the season. I think overall Lodex, it's lower middle. There's loads of better episodes, right? Like, loads of better episodes. But this is better than average, better than average. But it doesn't take any of the chances that it could have. Doesn't do anything particularly special with the formula except the Gach intro, which is glorious. But the other stuff. So I'm going to give for overall Lodex, I'm going to go 7.2. Not top 25%, not even close. But Lodex, this is one where the average of Lodex is just high. Whereas last week it's only not so good things. I was going to rate it lower. So yeah, still 7s. Still, it's an average Lodex episode, but without the extra charm.
Well, there's Sam's review and score, and as the brother Malor would say, this human is full of words.
Yeah. Very fair. Very fair on that one.
So let's see what you guys are saying.
Yes.
Ray Ricks throws in 2 pounds. 7 out of 10. Honestly lost a point for the B plot. Oof, there you go. And Stephen Fothery is here. How you doing, Text Trek?
Welcome.
$5.
Thank you.
My favorite episode of the season so far. Looking forward to getting the Trekyards' thoughts on these remaining 6. Lower Decks always saves the best for the last few. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It does feel like it went cheap to go big later on. As if they
I hope so.
As if they divert funds. Because every new guest actor is going to cost a huge amount of money. So I'm guessing that's why they... but that's sort of a testament to CBS not giving them more money to make the season better. Because if they had more money for more things, they could have made these bigger and better. But that's okay. Non-subject scores. We've got only a couple, so we're going to go BJ Churn 9 out of 10. This is one of his favourite of Lower Decks. The Stanley 7 out of 10. Joseph 7.5. Ozzy only a 9.1. Low for him. And his mum 9.2. On par almost. For Donnie, a low 9.4 for fake Donnie. And that's all the non-subject ones. So either a 9 or a 7. But the poll, though, which I was trying to get some overall score vibes, 58 votes. What do you think of the episode? The winner is, as I think we're finding out, was 43% liked it. It was good. Second best, I was loved it at 36%. It was okay, 17%. Only 3% didn't like it, which feels fair to me.
There you go. If anybody hasn't hit like yet, please take this opportunity to do so. We have 42 likes, so let's get at least 45. I don't think Stephen Fothery has hit like yet. He just joined us. I'm watching you. Anyway.
We're only one super chat away from glory to you and our YouTuberness.
Sure.
Yeah.
Depending on the amount.
Well, yes.
Anyway. Yeah. So yeah, tune in tomorrow for Trekyards as always every Saturday. And of course, join us next week for some more lives, looking at your favorite characters from TOS, probably ships. You guys get to choose. It'll be an interesting discussion.
Which includes TOS movies.
Sam is releasing. Oh, Steven Slot. He always clicks like. Okay. Sam is releasing his next fan film tomorrow.
Yes.
Check that out.
In fact, let me do a world reveal of the thumbnail. It's kind of a sexy thumbnail. Took it long to make than it could have because it's more going on. And it gives you a pretty good sense of how the tone of this episode is. It be Bernie. So there you go. Reality Burns out tomorrow. What do you think of the thumbnail, Stuart? When do you see it?
When I see it, I'll let you know.
Thank you. I do like knowing things.
Yeah, it's good.
It be dramatic, eh? Defiant does shoot some stuff. Is true.
It is true.
And Keely, Steely vibes. A little Easter egg. I tend to. I do so many variations of the characters. So sometimes you have the wrong hair for the wrong uniform, or no beard, or yes beard. So this version, this picture I really wanted because she's Steely. But
Steely Keely.
Is
that her nickname in Starfleet?
No. It
should be in the next fan film.
Drunkard. No. So I had to Photoshop a second Pip because she was an ensign in this picture. So it's not the best, but if I hadn't told you, you wouldn't have thought it. So
why'd you tell us?
Because it's just fun.
Behind the scenes. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Like I said, we will see you next week. Until then, glory to you and your house. Kapla. All the Klingon things. You beige upon you.
I watch the film tomorrow. Huzzah. Until then, he's Captain Foley.
And until then, he's Commander Cockings.
He is. Bye, guys.